Oh, the Greeks. Yeah, the Greek gods.
Oh, slow down.
The Greek gods. I think you mean the African gods because all the Greeks were actually black. Oh,
that's true.
Yeah.
As a Greek man, I can tell you that's true.
Excuse me, Beethoven.
I'm actually black.
Ludwig von Beethoven? I think you mean Black Vig von Beethoven, because he was actually a black man. You see, that's the thing, man. These devils, they tell you in their schools that George Washington was a white man. Surprise, he was black.
And he made peanut butter.
And he made peanut Somebody used to do, I think it was, who said, I think it was Wessel Schmidt used to do that as a bit. I don't know, yeah. Some
George
comic,
Washington.
one of those like edgy, like fucking open mic guys. I think it was him. Used to do a bit that's like, yeah, apparently I found out some fucked up shit about one of the founding fathers. You know, they all did racist stuff, but apparently George Washington used to like go around in blackface and fuck around with peanuts. And shit.
That's a good bit.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's funny.
Which actually, I was on an interesting website the other day, Black Invention Myths. like Tumblr
We have
or something.
to, but that's the only stipulation for using the Anthony Cumia Studios is we have to go on that website once a week.
By the way, folks, the Anthony Cumia Studios only has one set of headphones
In the whole studio.
in the whole studio.
We're in
We
the
actually
Empire
can use the
State
studio,
Building.
but we're not allowed to use their equipment. That's the rule because we're too woke.
We're in the bathroom at the Anthea Cumia Studios.
Yeah, we're in the JV.
George Washington Carver didn't invent peanut butter. That's not true.
Really?
Yeah, no, he did do experiments with peanut butter, but like, you know, he was just a guy, and they do that all the time. They're like, oh fuck, we need like a Black History guy. Like, how about him?
Right.
And then they
Why
just,
him always?
I don't know.
He was a big ass scientist.
love
though.
him.
Wasn't he like castrated or some shit? I think they cut his balls off. That's what I heard.
No, that was the guy
they took away his nuts. I just did with the truth. That's I truth castrated George Washington Carver.
That was Benedict Cumberbatch from the Code.
His voice
when
is
he broke
too-
the code.
His voice is too deep. No, I think
They
it was.
chemically castrated that guy.
I think I don't know, dude. I was watching something on YouTube that said something about. I think a Hotep guy was behind it. Sorry, I just ate a Pop-Tart and it ain't agreeing with me.
So
y'all.
it's just
We all shared a Pop-Tart during the break.
I was at Chipotle.
You know
I was
what?
at Chipotle.
People were very interested in the break music from last time. Or the break.
What was that?
Did you listen to it?
I listened to it.
Oh,
yeah.
it's because people have been asking me if you're interested. It's Explosive Impact featuring the theme song to the TV show Nightman. An Explosive Impact is a rant that some autistic kid uploaded to YouTube like 10 years ago, and people just kept downloading it and re-uploading it.
Nightman?
Nightman. It was a TV show. So
yeah.
you know how like
We just
superhero
have we
movies.
talked about this?
Wasn't
No.
your name on Facebook Nightman
It was.
for a while?
Put that back in the thing.
Tell me what the fuck to do, bitch.
Don't lose that shit.
I'm doing
You're
it.
gonna fucking leave it on that chair and lose
I'm
it.
doing it, but not because you told me to.
All right. No, a Nightman was a. So you know how we have like all this popularity with superhero shit now. They tried to do that in the '90s, and it failed. And they did it with shit like. And when I say all the superhero shit, I mean like Deadpool. Like nobody knows who the fuck Deadpool is.
Ryan
Or the Guardians of the Galaxy. All these like.
Right. They
You
take
know,
minor-
deep cut fucking comic book shit and make it mainstream. And they did that in the '90s with The Tick.
I remember The Tick.
The Tick, the Fox show.
That was good.
That was actually good.
They did it.
Spawn?
Tick was well, Spawn was super popular.
Yeah, yeah.
Spawn was new.
Spawn was sick.
Spawn is the only comic book I've ever read. Stav is like literally shitting himself. He thinks it's funny, but he's gonna shit himself.
Off
And
mic.
he's wearing cargo shorts.
It's
so,
they ain't got no fucking cargos.
yeah. You keep the turds in them pockets. You got all them extra pockets for the turds. But no, they did that in the '90s with the Tick and the Shadow and the Phantom and
Freakazoid.
Yeah, Well, no,
No,
again,
I'm kidding,
Freakazoid. You know what you're talking about. So,
Autistic Nick getting mad.
yeah. Well, I'm not even a
no.
fucking comic book guy. It's just like read the fucking Wikipedia page, man.
What? Read every
reading is
Wikipedia
Every
page?
single Wikipedia page.
Reading's gay. That's my stance, and you know that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But
That's why it's a podcast, dude. You
yeah.
get to listen. You don't have to read it.
that's actually brilliant, dude.
We should
That
type
must
this
be the
out.
appeal. Yeah, we should. We should transcribe every
We should
episode.
type this
And
out.
sell it as a fucking book.
Yeah.
As a
What were you
book.
saying about Nightman though?
Oh yeah, so Nightman is about. So it was a TV show, and Nightman was a TV show about a guy who he's a jazz musician who got struck by lightning,
Oh hell.
and now
yeah.
he can hear evil.
Nice.
And then he also just becomes Batman. So he has like all this fucking like he can fly all of a sudden, and he has all this equipment. But like that wasn't part of getting struck by lightning. I mean, I'm sure they explain it, but nobody gives a shit.
Right.
And the intro music is great. And what I loved about the show is like I guess I'm pretty sure it was on UPN. UPN.
yes.
There was like a period where Dodge was like trying to promote. Or like all these like Mopar cars were promoted through television series where they had the new Knight Riders, and that was like there was the new Dodge Durango was on that, and then they had
That
Nightman.
was recent, wasn't it?
What's
the new,
that?
The new Knight Rider.
No, it was in the mid '90s. It was like Knight Riders. There was a Knight Rider reboot in the '90s with all like, and I think that it might have all been all fucking like Chrysler vehicles,
Right.
but yeah. So it was. Then there was a show called Viper, which we have talked about
We've
before.
talked about that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Viper, because that was like the break music on a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And then on Nightman's car was the Plymouth Prowler. You remember that?
That was a beautiful.
Yeah, the open wheel
of
layout,
engineering.
fucking piece of
that
shit.
thing,
Yeah, like
yeah.
teardrop
Bunch
car.
of fat old guys.
Yeah.
Well, were they all purple?
They were all purple. And then in the
Really?
last model year, they had like yellow and shit. But for the first like 2 or 3 years,
Safety orange.
yeah, it was all.
Are
all
you
that
setting
kind of
up like a funny bit, or are you just,
No, just
talking about the
information.
show?
No, I was talking about something else, but I was explaining one thing, and then you interrupt me, and I have to expound upon it, and then you interrupt me again, and then I get this backlog of shit I need to fucking mention. I'm not setting up a bit. We already had David Cross in the
We're not
first
gonna be
half. You
funny
know
for
what?
the rest.
If you don't want to hear me talk about fucking cars, then turn off the fucking podcast.
What's your favorite car?
My favorite car of all time?
Yeah.
1987 Buick GNX.
Why?
I don't know. They're just cool.
They're cool.
Yeah.
What do they look
actually
like?
cool?
They're cool in like that, like, like 80s, like a muscle revival sort of way. There's like a bunch of big piece of shit old sedans that they had like performance versions of. That one's cool. The 83 Hearst Cutlass is pretty cool.
Hearse.
Yeah, Hearst. They were like
Hearst.
Like
I've
William
seen
Randolph
cars.
first, the
yeah,
newspaper man.
Yeah, no, it's different.
It's a hearse like for dead people?
HURST. No, not a hearse.